When you're unattractive, life is hell. And when you become a little bit more charismatic, everything changes. Your entire life, you'll hear people say, don't judge a book by its cover. What's inside matters more. And sure, if we lived in a utopia, I agree. But guess what? We don't live in a utopia. We live on planet Earth, and on planet Earth, people judge the books by their covers. We need to stop lying to ourselves and saying that charisma doesn't matter. It matters. And if you don't have it, life is on hard mode. And today, I'm not here to be kind and to protect your little feelings. I'm here to tell you the truth and tell you why you need to be charismatic and how when you become charismatic, people will start treating you differently. Because once you understand that charisma is a real life cheat code, you can either choose to blame the game or play it yourself. And listen, the truth in 2026 is that most guys have zero game. Matter of fact, statistically, it's the worst time in history for men. They don't hold eye contact, they cannot just smile, they don't project their voice, their posture is shit, and they cannot wait to go back to their mom's basement and jerk off to corn. Now, the reason I can roast them like this is because this used to be me. In full transparency, I used to be diagnosed with social anxiety. My worst fear was speaking in front of people. I was horrible with women. I couldn't speak to my crush for 4 years in high school. I was bullied. This led me to isolate myself and become addicted to corn. That's why I was talking about the jerking off. So I have compassion, but I also have love for these people. And love doesn't always mean it's okay. You can stay exactly the way you are. It means you have higher standards for yourself. It means you love the person you can become. And I know that if you're watching this video, you have higher potential. I'm not saying you are just as bad as what I used to be, but I'm saying you have higher potential. And I can promise you that it's not by watching the new looks maxing videos. I see this trend out there. It's so ridiculous. I cannot believe men in this generation focus on their looks more than on who they become as men, more than their charisma, more than their social skills, their courage, overcoming their fear, the way they communicate. Fixing your looks on an external level is not how you're going to fix your social life. The way you fix your social life, your relationships, your self-confidence, by something much, much deeper. It's not some plaster solution like getting a new haircut. Matter of fact, this is what I used to believe. I was trying all these different haircuts. This is not what solved the problem. What solved the problem is something much deeper, which is your self-image. Because you need to understand that people will only ever respect you to the degree that you respect yourself. And the quality of your self-respect is the quality of the image that you have of yourself. In other words, the story you believe about who you are as a person. And guess how that is built? With proof. Self-image, identity, same thing, is built on proof. You need to win to become a winner. And if you lose, you'll perceive yourself as a loser. That's it. Now, I can already hear some of you thinking, yes, I can hear your thoughts, that, oh, but if I never won yet, how can I change my self-image? Am I not stuck forever in loser mode? No. You know why? Because you have been blessed with something very special, which is the ability to control your focus. You know what that means? Where you focus right now, on your ass, sitting on your chair, or on your bed, gravity pushing you downward before I said so. Where you focus on the feeling of the clothes touching your body before I put your attention there. Of course not. You were listening to my words, which means your consciousness, your awareness is consistently bombarded with so much information, you would go crazy if you try to focus on all of it at the same time. Your head will literally explode. It's impossible to consciously process that much information, which is why your brain consistently deletes a lot of information. You could be focusing on so many different things right now, yet you choose to focus on this video, which means what's wrong is always available. You have failed many times. You have disappointed people. You have done a lot of mistakes in your life. What's wrong is always available. Trust me, I've done a lot of fucked up shit. But so is what's right. You've also won a lot. You've made amazing decisions. You've made beautiful gestures that probably changed someone's life for the better and you're not even aware of it. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that you have been caught in the habit, like most people, to focus on what's wrong, to focus on your weaknesses, on what you should fix about yourself. And the bigger problem with that is that it becomes a compound effect. There's this thing in psychology called cognitive dissonance, which means that the biggest pain in life is to do something that is not in accordance with who you believe you are. Which means if you have a shitty self-image about yourself, you'll do anything, even subconsciously, it's not always conscious, to sabotage anything good about yourself, to sabotage any good opportunity, because that's different than who you believe you are. That's not safe. That's the unknown. And that fear of change, that fear of being different, that fear of the unknown is literally a survival mechanism. You cannot blame the system, because that same system is what allowed our species to survive over tens of thousands of years. The system is not the problem. The problem is you having the consciousness, the awareness that the system is there and not doing anything about it. You've been gifted with that consciousness. Use it. Now that you watch this, it's too late. You cannot pretend you don't understand the system. Now you either use it or you let it use you. I can promise you, and this is what I do with my clients, this is what I do in my workshops, I can promise you that you will experience much more progress in your charisma levels, in your attractiveness by doing these next two things than by watching all of the looks maxing videos you can watch, okay? Here are the two things. Number one, challenge yourself, literally gamify it to step out of your comfort zone and face your social fear on a daily basis. This can be a challenge talking to strangers, approaching women. This can be enrolling into improv. This can be enrolling into theater classes. Whatever the fuck it is, going to public speaking workshops. I'm hosting them. Link in the description. You can do whatever it is as long as you step out of your comfort zone from a social perspective. And then when you do that, the second thing is you keep track of your wins. You literally create a habit where every evening, every morning, you track the good stuff that you did. Either the past day, the past week, the past years, whatever it is, whatever you can think of. Track your wins. What makes you a cool person, a good person? What makes you an attractive person? What makes you a charismatic person? Look for it. Condition your brain to look for it. What makes you someone that is worthy of self-respect? Because when you do these two things, when you do what's hard, you face yourself, you learn the deep, true confidence that's unshakable. Even if you go bald, it doesn't matter, because who you are as a person, it cannot be changed by a haircut. And also, by the way, guess what happens when you have a positive self-image of yourself? You want to take care of yourself even more. So now you start having a good routine. Now you start taking care of your body, your nutrition. You move more, you work out. And that, of course, makes you look healthy. And then subconsciously, people that are healthy are also more attractive. Because of what? Because of reproduction. We've been conditioned to reproduce with people who have good genes, because we want our kids to be healthy, and so on. It's all a compound effect. It's an upward cycle. We either go into upward spirals or downward spirals. You choose, my brother. Mic drop. This was all for me today. I love you guys. I'll see you here soon. I appreciate you. Thank you. Peace.